next cut I'm going to make is going to be along just under breastbone here, all the way down to the belly button. Proceed to cut down around the belly button, down the legs like this. I'm now going to cut up at the top here, across. I'm just going to do that to expose the abdominal cavity. With the scalpel, you're always very careful. So you put a lot of pressure on so the scalpel is nice and sharp. And once I got that side, I'm going to use scissors to make a little bit deeper cut. Scissors are actually a better cutting tool for large sections of flesh.
Can't figure out what gender the pig is.
Did you watch which bathroom it walked into? This is a female pig. You can tell that by this little genital papilla right here, just located just below the anus. My pig's a male because it doesn't have that. You can see it's missing. So you can see all the arteries that are feeding the... You can see this bright red artery. That would have come from the placenta of the mother pig, and you can see there's a vein that runs right next to it. They injected bright red dye into where you have the umbilical cord. So what we can see here, this huge object here is the liver. Again, the liver having a lot of different functions. It detoxifies, it's a vitamin, mineral storage, and so on. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the liver and take it out. And you can see there's 3 lobes of liver. There's one here, and one here, that are all present. And you can see the stomach underneath. So I'm going to have to be a little bit unsensitive to the pig here. Cut the membrane that's attached to. Now we use pigs for dissection purposes in high school because they are pretty similar anatomically to humans as far as the location of the organ and stuff. You can see how large this organ is. It's got a severed hepatic artery. And here's the liver of the pig. Now at the back here, you can see the gallbladder. Oh, and right here, I don't know how well this shows up in the video, but there is the bile duct. Now, up here, this sac right here is the stomach of the pig. And I think I caught it a little bit when I was taking the liver out. And you can actually see there's a membrane up here, and that's the diaphragm muscle. Or the membrane that connects to the diaphragm. I've got the stomach here, and here's the pancreas. The pancreas is kind of hard to find. So get the pancreas here. Of course, produces insulin and all that good stuff, and digestive enzymes. Now you've got the small intestine that is all coiled in here. Now, I'm not going to take that out quite yet. I'm going to do the thoracic cavity first, and then I am going to go and do the abdominal cavity later when we get to the kidneys. But you can see all of the blood vessels that are connected here. They'd be absorbing all the nutrients. Now I'm going to start cutting upwards here. So I'm going to cut through the rib cage and across at the neck here. And what that's going to allow me to do is get the ribs open. The scalpel for some light work just through the tissues on the surface. And actually, I want to go way up. Actually, I want to go up to here. And you can see where these pigs were cut and sort of bled. To drain a lot of the blood and to inject this blue dye into the veins. So they cut the jugular vein in the neck. There's a big hole there. Now it's scissor time. Carefully going underneath and through the breastbone. I'm looking as a cut because I don't want to cut through all of the interior organs. So these lungs loose. You can see the little bit of pericardium that's here attaching the heart. I'm just cutting through that. It pays to do this year after year. You become a bit of an expert at finding things that kids can't find. And to their defense, some things are kind of difficult to identify. Okay, you can see the ribs and the muscle bands between them here. And those are pretty important because those muscles help with breathing. Now I'm going to make a little cut here on the ribs, straight down, and allow them to separate it a little bit here with the arm. Just cutting through some of this tissue. And I'm going to pin those back so we get a really good look. Okay, so we have the thoracic cavity here, abdominal cavity here. I removed the membrane, or separated the two. You can see the two lungs right here, wrap all the way around, and you can see the heart right in the middle of them. Now I'm going to clear out some of the tissue just above here. I'm trying to expose the trachea on that. It's kind of messy in here. And how this pig was bled. It's a little messy up here. And down here it's really nice. Up here it's a bit of a mess. So there's the heart. We've got the trachea. I can feel it right here. It's really, really hard. The esophagus would be behind that. Goes down. You've got the lungs on either side. And you can see different lobes to the lungs. And the heart. Okay, so I think next I'm going to remove the heart very carefully. Sorry, I probably had my head in the shot. Get free of the connective tissue here. And now I've just got aorta here. I'm going to cut So there's the heart of the pig. You can see the two big vessels coming into the back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to dissect this very carefully. But you can clearly see here the different, the ventricles. And you can see all the connective tissue within those ventricles. It's a little tiny pig heart. Human hearts would be about the same layout, but obviously much larger. So you can see, I know, atrium here into the ventricle. It would go to the lungs and come back into the left atrium, which is actually up here, down into the left ventricle and out through the aorta, this big vessel at the top, to the rest of the body. I'm going to very carefully move the stomach now. And that's what the inside of the stomach would look like. There isn't much there. One interesting feature is down at the one end, there's a little muscular ring, the sphincter, and this opens and closes and allows food to go into the digestive tract further down, so it goes into the small intestine. So you can see the pancreas right here. Here's the pancreas in this particular pig. Sort of tongue-shaped. Of course, that makes insulin. We used to get a lot of insulin from pigs before we could genetically engineer bacteria to do it for us. And this white one that I'm pulling out right now here, this is the trachea. It's lined with cartilage, and this is what goes down into the lungs. So I'm going to try and remove the lungs and the trachea all together here. See if I'm successful. I'm just separating them right now. And the esophagus. Pull that out. See just cutting two of these. Here we go. Okay, so here's the lungs. So you can see the trachea that runs down. That's going to branch into the lungs, into each side. It continues to move out like a tree. And this is, it feels like jello, is what it feels like. Now the trachea here is actually really crunchy. And that's because it has cartilage in it, and the whole purpose of the cartilage is so that the breathing tube doesn't collapse. And for consistency, if you thought of really al dente macaroni, that's sort of what this is like. And now I'm going to take out all of the intestines. That's going to be the fun part. Okay, so here's the intestines. And you got small intestines, which are the narrow ones, and the large intestine, which are the fat ones. And this would have been part of the spleen attached to, you see that little piece right there? It's the spleen that would have been attached to the pancreas. And you can, again, see all this, what we call mesentery. It's just a network of blood vessels that connects all of these structures. All of this stuff, so it can absorb lots and lots of food and lots of nutrients, lots of water, salts, vitamins, all sorts of things. Okay, we're getting down into the nuts and bolts, as it were. We're going to start with the kidney. And what you can see, I don't know how well you can see it on the video, but from the kidney, there's a tube that's running down here, and the urinary bladder would be down in this region here. But right next to this tube is the little testes. Open up the kidneys so you can see the renal pelvis and all that kind of stuff. So this kidney is literally kidney bean sized and shaped. So I opened up the kidney, and I don't know how well it comes across, but you can see there's 3 layers to a kidney. There's what's called the cortex, which is out on the outside here, and there's the medulla, which is the middle part, and then what's called the pelvis, this little empty spot here, and that pelvis is actually going to empty out into the ureter, which is going to go to the bladder and carry out urine. Well, I think I'm going to go for the try and show the rear leg joint here. See if we can find all the ligaments and tendons that hold joints together. Try best I can to get the skin off. See if I learned anything from watching brain scan. What I have here is you can see the muscles of the leg, and so when you eat ham, this is what you're eating. It's part of the leg. I can feel a real strong tendon there. I'm going to have to pull the muscle off. But as I move this joint here, certain muscles are going to tense and relax. What I'm trying to do here is expose the Achilles tendon. See this long piece or strip here. That is a tendon, and so when the pig's muscle contracts, it pulls that up. And relaxes, other muscles here that pull it forward like that. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done here. As you can see all that, I'm not going to go up and do the brain. You can see stuff. There's little salivary glands, all that kind of stuff there. I'm not going to do the brain just because I don't feel like cracking his skull open. So that should be about it. Yes.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see what the brain actually looked like.
Managed to get that?
Yeah, in one piece.
Oh, you got it out in one? Oh, holy cow! Hold on. Travis took the brain out of one of these, and
Taking the brains out of it.
that's pretty impressive. That's probably about the best brain I've seen taken out of one of those. Back here, if this, you know, if it's analogous to a human brain, is what's called the cerebellum, and so that controls, or it helps coordinate like muscle movement and balance and those sorts of things. So there you have what's called in here. There's corpus callosum, which is a bundle of nerves that connects the left and right sides, so the two sides of the brain can talk to each other. Then you'd have in here you'd have your hypothalamus, which controls a bunch of body functions, a lot of your involuntary